Hello everyone. Today we're going to look at something not normal for electronics. To understand things, you have to know how things work and diagnose and troubleshoot problems. Today we're going to look at something that's sort of mechanically, it is mechanically uh, not working properly. So we'll look at this and just go over the diagnostic problems. I've seen this before. I know kind of what the problem is, so I'll take you on for the ride. So today we're going to be looking at this guy. It is a reel. It's a quantum. It is an E10 PTI, 10 ball bearing. If you like fishing, this is a pretty smooth reel, and it's pretty smooth. As you can see now, it will go this way, but it will go this way. Now it's free. Then you engage the anti-reverse and it should stop. But there's some resistance there. So what happens, and I'll show you when I get in there, there's cogs on the anti-reverse bearing. The actual bearing itself is a roller type bearing. It is pushed into or pressed into that cog. What happens when you're using the reel and anti-reverse kicks in, it's not pressed in properly, or it wasn't made properly enough for it to catch and stay there. So it ends up slipping inside that cog. So what we're going to do, we're going to open it up and I'll show you the step by step and show you what's going on with that. So we're going to take this apart. First we'll take off the spool. This is your drag knob. This will come off first. It's a fairly easy fix, and I've seen a lot of their reels with the anti-reverse. One-way anti-reverse bearings, when they lock, they just slide. So it has the quantum hot sauce in there. There's a little tiny reel. This is just a little 10. Yeah, it's nice. So this has a C-clip on it, if you can see that. I will take the C-clip off. If I can see. And this should just come off fairly easy, just like that. We'll put that on here. Try to bring it closer so you can see that. A little C-clip. Then there's two bearings and a washer in between each one. These ones are kind of funny to get off because of the washer. The washer's not set in. It goes into the slot where the C-clip fits in there. So we'll take these off. Just have to adjust the bearings, the washer on top of the bearings to get it off properly. I'll just slide these off. So this one's first, that one's second, coming off. And then you have a big washer right here. Big washer and a cog for the clicker, so you can tell when a fish is spinning your spool. It'll go click 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 when your drag's off. If your drag is set too high, you won't hear the click because it won't spin. But as soon as it starts spinning, you get a good enough fish on, it'll click. So now we'll start with the disassembly of the actual rotor here. Grab a screwdriver. We'll take this off. This is just a protective cover, and it keeps the actual nut from spinning off and then loosening, and then you get really big problems if your rotor doesn't stay on properly. So we'll take this guy off. Here's the cover right here. And then we'll grab some pliers. I'll just grab these little guys. They should do the trick. Shouldn't be on with much force. It should just be on there. Maybe I was wrong. Should be just on there just to hold it, because the plastic cover actually holds it from Yeah, it was just stuck from factory. So that just comes off. Nice little nut there. And then we got the rotor. So we'll take the rotor off, and then I'll show you the inside here. So if we take this off, just wiggle it, careful. So there is a washer on the bottom, it's a little nylon. Make sure you do not lose this. This actually goes on around the inside of this, so it'll fit around that column piece. I'll show you in a second. So this actually goes around that, if you could see, just like that. It just goes around. So what I'm talking about here, once we take this off, as I said, don't lose this because that adjusts where this is going. So the anti-reverse, as you can see, this little lever right here, you'll spin freely either way. Now if you flip this switch, it'll hit the cog, so it should be anti-reverse, but right now it's spinning. And as you can see, if I get closer here, the bearing is spinning inside of this cog right here, and it's not supposed to be. There's a center shaft here. We'll take this out, I'll show you. So this center shaft is the one supposed to be, this is hooked directly to your shaft here, and this is supposed to be the one spinning. But on this one, this is actually, if I can get this correctly, this is spinning inside of this. So we gotta take this off, sand it, and put some glue in there, and that usually fixes this problem. So I'll show you again. We'll turn the anti-reverse off, and that goes to the side. We'll put this back on. So we got it freely. Backwards here. So this is freely. And then as soon as I hit this switch to put the anti-reverse on, it'll catch just like that. Now that bearing should not, the one-way bearing should not be moving. As you can see, this ring here, if you follow, this ring here should be solid and mounted directly to this, but they're made separately, so this is actually pressed into here from factory, but after time they just loosen off, and then you can't then you don't have anti-reverse. So we'll just do this again. This is back, see it's spinning, and then forward. It's not spinning now. If I can get up closer here, so there it is, and then back. So now you can see that it's spinning inside that, and that's not what it's supposed to do. So we'll take this off. This is all that we need to take off, and then we need to push it out from the other side. So we'll get our thing here, and this shouldn't be this easy to come out. As you can see, it's already sliding out of there. Now if you end up pushing this out, get a flat screwdriver here, we'll just stick it in and work it around until we can get it out. Okay, found a little hammer. This should do it. Now if I get this held properly and still in view for you guys, I'll tap this out, because I'd really like to get this out of there. It's coming, there we go, it's out. So there we go. So that's the bottom. Make sure you remember, this is the bottom. That goes in this way. If you put it the other way, you'll have reverse. So when you're trying to spool in, you'll have lock. So you don't want that. So this is what it just slides in here, and you can see how shiny that is now. If you can get a good view on that. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be rough. It's supposed to stick in there and not move. So what we'll do, we'll grab some Q-tips here. We'll grab a couple. I'll grab my alcohol. We'll clean this out. Clean this. Grab this. Get that out of the way. And clean all that out of there. Look at that. That is from it rubbing on the inside without having anti-reverse. It just keeps spinning and spinning in here, which is not very efficient. I'll clean this up a bit. You can see on here, so this is what I'm talking about. So this is a indent out. It's actually pressed out where the roller bearings are, and then it goes in. So when it gets pushed in, it'll actually activate the roller bearing against the shaft, as I said, right here, this guy. So it actually forces it, and with them all being on here, can't remember how many is in here, but there's quite a few. There's probably about 12 roller bearings in there, and with them all activating at once, there's no way that's gonna move. It's just a lot of force on this shaft here. So there's that. So this is our bottom. That's where it's all scratched up. So we'll just make sure that we remember that that goes in this way. So what I'll do, I'll take some of our glue here. Got some super glue. I'll take this off, clean it up, and what we'll do, we'll put it near the bottom where it bottoms out. So we'll just do this, or close to it, because when I start to push this in, it's going to go in really quick. So let's get the excess out of there. That's the bottom. We'll push that guy in there really quick. So 1, 2, 3, there. That's in. There's the excess glue. That came out. I'll just clean that up a bit. And then we'll spray the activator. We'll just spray the activator on here. And then that's solid. So put this away. Put that on there. We'll clean up this super glue on here. Looks like I put a little too much on there. And use this guy, this quantum hot sauce. Looks like that's all good. We'll put some more in there. It likes the bite, so as I said, it adheres to the metal and soaks right in there. It's a synthetic mixture. Works great for that stuff. So we'll take this back over here, close this guy. We don't need the alcohol anymore. Get rid of that. So there's that. We'll put this back on. As you can see, there's a little groove in the bottom here. and that should fit right inside this little washer underneath here. So there's that. So we'll look at it with it spinning without the anti-reverse on. Now we'll put the anti-reverse on, and we're reeling, and then back. Actually, it goes, you're not supposed to reel backwards really, it's for the fish when it catches on, but I did enough force to actually take the handle off. So we'll screw this handle back on. We'll screw it on tightly. If I can, I might have to have the actual spool on there to do it, or the rotor. So we'll actually put this guy on, but we have to remember this guy. This little ring goes around that shaft. It just helps that anti-reverse system to stay in place. So we'll put this guy on, and we'll put this, because this has to pull up on there or else you don't get it doesn't line up properly. So the gears, we'll just give this a couple of, okay, so now with this on, I can actually hold the bail and the rotor and tighten the handle. So now we got it going one way and it'll stop. So this won't go back. It'll stop every time, like instantly, as you can see. Hitting back. So we'll spin this and we'll engage, and it just hits and then stops. We'll spin it, it stops instantly, and that was a lot of force, like spinning backwards and then activating the anti-reverse. Yeah, it hits and then goes forward as you've seen. So that's not gonna go anywhere. So you're not gonna have that. It's gonna be instant anti-reverse, so when you catch a fish or get a bite, you get a quick snap and it won't turn, and it'll just use your drag, which is in there. The drag system is what you need for not snapping your line. But there you have it. I hope this helps. I'll put this back together. I'll take you for the process back together here. So this guy just goes on, and then the screws hold that in place. There's that. Okay, and that holds that nut so it doesn't spin off. If this ends up getting too much play, it'll cause lots of stuff binding, and yeah, and it won't be pretty anyways. It'll cost you money, a lot more money in parts. So we'll put this guy on, and that doesn't move. As you can see, there's a flat side on both sides, if you can see that, just like that. So that guy doesn't move. And then these bearings should just fit right in between, and there should be a washer. If not, it's on there. This just, there it is, sliding off here. There should be a bearing under here, or a washer. So this guy goes on, and then a washer in between. and it'll try to get caught on these little tabs here where the C-clip goes in. And I'll put this guy. Oh, there's already one on there. This guy goes on here. This washer. And then the C-clip. Gotta make sure that washer's out of the way again. Like that. I don't know if you can see the slot in it. You can kind of see the slot. Yeah, right there. That's where this C-clip goes into. And it just pretty much sits on there, and then it just presses in. Get it in with your fingers there. And then I usually use a flat screwdriver and just push it in the rest of the way. Just like that. There we go. Now she's all in, all buttoned up. And the bearings sit right inside here. Prolongs, the amount of bearings that are in this is incredible, but it prolongs the life of a reel for sure. I believe this has 10 bearings. 2 are in the actual spool. That gives you your nice even drag system on here and keeps it stable. It's excessive, but it does work. And we'll just tighten this. So here's your drag. It's loosened right off, and I can use my thumb to twist it. And then once I get down, now it's getting a little tighter. And as you see, it's pretty progressive for drag, and then tight is almost tight there. You want it fairly tight, fairly loose, so that when you do get a bite, you can snag the hook in it. So there's that. And as I said, this bail has that material that goes back to its original shape. So what we usually find if we're having problem with it, like this one is really good, but we usually have to take this screw out, and it should fit perfectly in there with no resistance whatsoever. There should be no resistance on this bail arm at all. So we have to end up bending this to fit in there just right. It works really well with the all metal bail systems, but this one's a little more difficult to get right, but it should be from the factory set perfectly, which this one is. Like, there's no resistance whatsoever. It will flip over every time. Really nice, just like that. Snap. And always do it up, because there is a point on here. If you end up doing it over where it's supposed to flip over, which is right here, and you go to put the bail down over here, it actually binds on that spot, so you don't want to do that. So you're always grabbing your line and then flipping over. So there's that. We got anti-reverse now, and it unders the handle. That's how strong the anti-reverse is. So you're reeling, and then it'll be snap instantaneous, and you can pull like that and set the hook. I hope this helps somebody. And that's the energy. If you like this video, please subscribe and like, and comment down below if you enjoyed this or not, or if this helped you out. As I said before, this is a friend of a friend's reel. He was going to get rid of it. These were very expensive when they came out, and they're still good reels. You should not be getting rid of something so nice. These, I still love them. I have quite a few in my tackle box here, and they're just really nice, wonderful to use. Nice, smooth, Like, it's just like butter. So hope this helped. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.